This is Rotten Glory. I am your host, Ty Gorton. Just enjoying some whiskey and walnuts. Was recently gifted this ginormous bag of walnuts. It's been heartily reduced. Got my whiskey here. Cheers. What does that have to do with the video? Absolutely nothing. I think I just wanted to say whiskey and walnuts. Back in my day, we survived on nothing but whiskey and walnuts, you pussies. Now all you do all day is complain about movies that don't respect Wookiees enough. Okay, let's do this shit. What I want to talk about is a bait and switch tactic that I think is taking place in entertainment. First, we have this recent story that broke, jacking up the line, priced at $7.99. DC Comics is rumored to be jacking up the line by introducing new titles featuring Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, and more, priced at $7.99. So basically what we see DC Comics is doing is charging their customers more for titles that they want, the original and popular characters, while the titles that no one wants, even the people raging about it on Twitter all day, will cost less. A bit of a bait and switch, don't you think? Yes, I do think. So what we have is a publishing company that has systematically, for years, injected SJW politics into titles that fans have been invested in, have been supporting for decades, for most of their lives, and it completely altered the face of them and produced comics that the fans no longer want. They don't want these books. Sales have plummeted. They're a complete failure across the board. There's not a single title that has done this that you can point to and say that worked, that's been successful. And the solution that this company is choosing is not to stop doing that. No. They're not going to stop doing that, which makes the most sense, right? They're not going to stop doing that, but what they're going to do is create a whole new line of books that will feature the characters the core fans want, the fans that have been paying year after year, that have been invested, that have bought the merchandise, that have supported these properties for a big chunk of their lives. What they're going to do is offer a line of books at a higher price. If you want to enjoy the characters the way that you always have, you can. You're just gonna have to pay more for it. And yeah, these are oversized titles, so they might have more pages. But that doesn't mean anything. Adding some pages to a book doesn't really impact the bottom line of the cost of production all that much. It's the initial cost of production that is the most expensive. Adding some pages is not that big a deal. So the profit margin here is going to be larger, quite a bit larger. And it's the core fans, as always, that are going to pay that price. This is a bait and switch. There's no question about it. And then we move over to the Mandalorian, right? Finally, a Star Wars property, a Star Wars installment that doesn't suck. It's not universally praised. It's not universally applauded as being incredible. But I think the overall sentiment is that if Disney Star Wars had been from the outset what the Mandalorian is, there wouldn't have been a problem to begin with. The Phantom Menace probably wouldn't have happened. People would have been fine with Star Wars. Would it have been on par with the glory days of Star Wars? Probably not. But it wouldn't have caused the outcry. It wouldn't have caused the agony that drove so many people to join the Phantom Menace, which has been an incredible outlet for fans that have just been devastated by this. And it's not, when I say devastated, I don't mean it like ruined their lives. I'm just saying it's something people cared about fairly deeply. And when The Last Jedi so just mercilessly spit in the face of fans in the name of subverting expectations, when they allowed Rian Johnson to make those calls, to do that to those characters, it caused distress, real emotional distress, actually, because there were deep connections for people from their childhoods. It meant something to people. And when we thought we were being given this opportunity to have a continuation of those characters' legacy, one last chance to see them come together, to be great, to be what we always knew them to be, to have that completely thrashed. It wasn't fun for people. But then here comes The Mandalorian. But there's a catch, of course. It's exclusive to the Disney Plus streaming service. And that's gonna cost you $7 a month. $84 a year. I'm sure there's some kind of discount if you get the whole year in advance. Whip-de-do. It's $80 a year for Disney Plus if you want Star Wars to feel like Star Wars again. There's something very wrong with that. Not that long ago, I came across a video from Rant, and it was titled "Disney is going to kill the movie theater." I really recommend that people go check this video out. It's a great theory about Disney's long-term strategy. And, if you want the full scope of the theory and all the great points that are made, check out the video. But the short of it is, the average person might go see 3-4 Disney films in a theater in a year. And when you're talking about ticket sales for theaters, Disney doesn't own the movie theaters, so of course they're only getting a piece of those ticket sales, with the chunk going to the theaters. So let's say Disney gets $4 per ticket, even $5 per ticket. Let's be generous and say $5, right? So if you go to 4 Disney films in a year, that's $20 that Disney is taking from your wallet and putting into theirs. If we look at Disney Plus, $7 a month, $84 a year. That's a massive increase to $20 a year. This is the long game. And we're talking about companies that have massive resources behind them. Multi-billion-dollar corporations that can afford to play the long game. This is the goal. The future is streaming. I don't even, 25 years from now, the landscape when it comes to movie theaters is going to be very different. Will they even exist? Probably. I think they'll be more of a novelty. I don't think it'll be like, Box Office Mojo and like this huge thing that you measure the success of a release by its theatrical box office. I think that will die off because it's moving toward streaming services being at war and exclusivity. Who can create the most desirable original content for their streaming services? So once again, you have a company that took a beloved property, the most profitable franchise in movie history, right? Completely, in the eyes of core fans that were most passionate about it, completely trashed it. Devastated OT characters. Did things with the canon that retroactively just destroy elements of Star Wars. Inexplicable, just unbelievable missteps, it would seem. And then they offer the Mandalorian. They offer, a fix. Oh, you want Star Wars to feel like Star Wars again? You want to have that vibe? Sign up for Disney Plus. We'll give it to you. You've got to pay that monthly fee. So this is a trend that seems to be growing. I think we should keep our eye on it. I think we're going to be seeing more of this, where if you want things to not be injected with these SJW politics, if you want the properties and characters and franchises to exist the way they have, the way they should, you're going to have to pay that premium cost. If you like the vid, give it one of these, thumb it up. I'm gonna have some more fucking walnuts. Thank you, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it.